Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Ep23 as Merina Kingdom. In previous episode we managed to get the GDP up a decent bit. The standard of living is now pretty darn good overall. I mean, there's few areas that aren't quite as good yet, but it's getting better and better. We've increased the construction speed even further, so we'll be going through even more of the investment pool, which is still almost 30 million admittedly. Innovation is coming up quite nicely and the literacy rate is almost 60, well, it's at 59.5%. So that is already improving the situation quite a bit. We are lacking a little bit bureaucracy because we are incorporating Zanzibar, which should be done within 5 years, so that's quite nice. And the standard of living there is already 15.1. So I'm guessing Gondor is probably one of the lowest ones that we have. We're only 13.8. Now, to be fair, that's going to be incorporated shortly. There's a lot of tax collection problems in here. Let's build a few more government administrations there. That's going to cost us a bit more, but now with the better taxation, we can actually do a lot of construction ourselves as well, while still getting or making a bit of profit. And I believe it is going to be this episode where we finally flip the radicals and loyalists around, so the radicals will be the minority again. I mean, to be fair, they're only 1/8 of the total population in our nation right now anyway, and the same goes, roughly speaking, for the loyalists as well. So vast majority is not really part of either one. Now we've got the taxation law switched. Anything else that we need to sort of try passing? Well, there's a protected free speech, but I don't think we can actually pass that because we don't have human rights. And child labor, we still got the... Oh right, we don't have human rights. Wage subsidies, there's not really that much support for it. I do not want to anger the industrialists too much. We could try passing the freedom of conscience again. It's only intelligentsia though that would support it. Are we bolstering any faction, by the way? I don't think we are. No. But yeah, now the taxes are very low, but we're still getting a lot of money. I mean, actually, from the money, investment pool transfer is the biggest one, of course. Yeah, fair enough. It's almost half of our income. To be fair, you know, we're building a lot, so the GDP has stagnated a little bit for the time being, but I'm sure that the standard of living increasing as much as it has will definitely make life a lot easier for us. I mean, we can already see the drop in radicals. It has been fairly steady there, and the loyalist numbers, well, they've been going up a little bit. They're not actually going up all that quickly, but it's slowly improving. Oh, where did the literacy rate drop suddenly to 55.3%? That seems a bit odd. Because it was almost 60% at the start of the episode there. I suppose the rule folk are following the old ways or something? I don't know. Or maybe the literary... Oh, right, since Devout aren't quite happy. But no, it's not... It's not minus 10% education access yet. But I don't know, that might be having some issues there. But regardless, standard of living now, we are number 20 worldwide on the average standard of living, and GDP, well, it's dropping again. We're getting a lot of bureaucracy underway, so we are going to be able to increase the bureaucracy total. I do wonder if we could, well, I don't think we have quite enough points to upgrade any one of these. Nor have we really unlocked a lot of the options there either. So that's definitely a bit of a problem. So how's the text coming along? So we're getting the electrical generation. It's spreading the threshing machines in the meanwhile. I suppose we could get that one afterwards. And then in society we could maybe try getting the philosophical pragmatism. Because, well, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be done already before we get the threshing machine, but regardless, it's at least underway. And I'm hoping that the freedom of conscience will be done, or will pass this time around. Admittedly, the rule folk and the devout do not enjoy this, or the fact that we're trying to pass this. I'm hoping that we can improve the, like... Again, I'm not entirely sure what happened with the literary rates suddenly dropping by 4%. That was a bit odd, I dare say. Like, how does 4% of the population just suddenly forget how to read? Alright, so we've got... Oh, Gondor's got quite a bit of taxation capacity issues, but that's to be expected. It was just incorporated. But we did... Oh, wow. Now we're making 92,000 pounds per week. We could potentially just remove another tax over here. That does reduce the income quite a bit. We've got the lowest tax. We've got the highest wages for government and military. I suppose at this stage... Well, investment pool is dropping a little bit. I suppose I could just build a few more things myself. There is a lot of unemployed in... Oh, right, that's already upgraded to max level there. Fair enough. I don't suppose there is any more whaling stations that we could build. Probably not. No, it doesn't look like it. And not really any oil. I mean, I suppose, is rubber something that we need in our market? Rather, that we need extra of it or not? Not really. Price is minus 30%. Yeah, that's not all that great for us then. So, rubber plantations aren't really something we should be focusing on. We could maybe get another arts academy. The fine art price is still relatively high. I mean, they don't employ a lot of people, admittedly. There's like 1,000 people only. And they don't produce a lot of fine art per level, but it's better than nothing. And we've got a lot of mines underway and all that. So the investment pool is down to 25 million. At least that's slowly improving. And I suppose, let's have a look at Oromia. We've still got 350,000 workers in there. Or unemployed in there, in fact. I suppose there's a lot of people working, or would be working on some of these, but... Oh, urban centers. If I go back to market stalls, that might be the thing that we need to do. It might reduce some of the stuff, admittedly, but I think I'm going to just switch back to the market stalls in the urban center. So at least market squares. Reduce the excess service production. Reduce the input of steel and glass there, and at least we'll have a bit more people working in there. So I don't know, it might start reducing the standard of living a little bit. Oh, backroom dealings exposed. We're not going to pass that one then. Now we're back to 55, well, slowly improving the literacy rate again, but like, I don't know what's happening with all that. And now we're getting all the lead mines in Yemen built. Well, there's probably quite a bit of demand for workforce in there. Is the open center over here? It's still not hiring enough people. How's the gas street lights? So that would increase employment actually quite a bit. But again, the service production would be increased drastically, and the service price is just very, very tiny in comparison. I guess we don't need to worry about that one then. Resource boom. Southern Madagascar. Sure, we'll boost the production there. So how is the standard of living over here anyway? It is already 20. Oh, wow. Pretty decent. And that's just the average in there, of course. So we do have a bit of authority available. I suppose we could try boosting... Well, actually, no, we don't have the points for that quite yet. I suppose, is there any other taxes? I mean, if we were to remove the service tax, that would be reducing our income a lot. But I suppose that would then mean the demand for services would go up. Maybe if we'll do that, we'll remove that one, and then we'll add in, like, I don't know, the luxury clothing back, for example. So we're going to be losing money for a little bit in here, but I suspect that the price for the services is going to start going up at least a decent bit. How much exactly, I'm not entirely sure. Now, one thing I'm a little bit curious actually is about, can we see it from states? No, that's not really the thing. Just still, oh, we are making money again, good. And the investment pool is still going, and that's down to 23 million now. Well, I suppose I could just have a look at the... So I'm just looking for the GDP totals. Can I actually see where exactly it's... Okay, no, we're still quite a bit behind in the GDP compared to Italy and all that. We did have it fairly good in there, but it's stagnated quite drastically in the past year or two at least. So is there anything else that we need in... Oh, oil is covered in Yemen. Oh boy. Oil. Encourage this trend. Why do I have a feeling that there's a lot of oil rigs already underway? Yes, there is. I'm going to build all of those myself. Or all the ones that weren't already being built. So the oil rigs are making really good price. I suppose if we were to get the combustion engine, for which we need the tech combustion engine, which I presume is over there. So after the electricity, we could technically speaking take that. That would increase the amount of oil that we produce a lot. So you know what? I'll get the text that I've already queued up there. What are we getting in the military anyway? Oh, modern nursing. Okay. We got the modern nursing now. Spreading the modern nursing. After that, it's probably going to be... Well, it's got 4 options, isn't it? It's got the floating harbor, self-propelled torpedoes, military statistics. Well, actually, no, it's got 3 options. Because the electric telegraph needs to be done first. Before we can continue on that route. Oh, there we go. Now we've got 130 million GDP. They're slowly increasing again. I suppose the oil rigs will be helping with this quite a bit. And the fact that the investment pool is now dropping quite a bit. Oh, can we support... Oh, we can have now 8 interests. Okay. We're getting to the point where we can just declare interest pretty much everywhere. It's going to get one in Italy. I don't know if the Italian market is going to be all that. I mean, let's actually have a look. Oh, it's part of the Austro-Hungarian market. Okay. Let's have a look. They need oil as well as electricity. They got some automobiles produced there already. Opium, wine, hardwood, ironclads. Oh. I do believe... Well, we've got some man of war still here. Which shipyard is producing that? Ah. The Creek ones. I think. I don't know, it's not mine anyway. So steamers, we got plenty. Did we have ironclads plenty or something? Not really. Well, in that case, one of the things that we could do is just take one of these. Not necessarily needing to do on both of them. The shipyard, switch this to the extensive military shipbuilding. A little bit less steamers, more ironclads. They can afford hiring more people now. Well, okay, so this GDP is fluctuating a lot, let's just say. But I'm hoping that we can reach at least like 150. We can probably reach like 200 million total by the end of the playthrough. Or assuming that we reach the 1935, then we can probably reach relatively high numbers in there. But the fact that we can't get the literary rate up enough is going to be a problem. To be fair, the population is increasing quite a bit. So that might be slowing down the literary rate, gaining maybe a tiny bit. I don't actually know if that's the case. Oh, well, oh, right, Yemen is constructing very slowly. Okay, another 3 construction sectors, just to speed things up a little bit. So it does increase, oh, is that the total modifiers? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, well, it's going to be increasing... Oh, Egypt is improved relations. It's going to be increasing the construction efficiency there at least a little bit. Oh, well, we do have enough points to start incorporating Yemen, although that wouldn't be completed anyway, so it's kind of pointless to start doing that. Standard of living over here is almost 16. And with Gondar being the lowest one at 14.2... Let's actually go ahead and bolster intelligence here. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to change some of the tax laws, or the consumption taxes in here. Just to be able to make a little bit more. Or start bolstering the intelligentsia, so we would maybe try getting rid of the freedom or the state religion, and that would maybe open up a road or room for a bit better education laws and all that. There is 10% support for the public health insurance again. So there's not a lot, but it's a little bit. I suppose the private schools, we can't do that one. Public schools, we can't do that one either. So we're kind of stuck on that. Free trade, we could... Oh, landowners oppose the protectionism quite a bit. We've got election season approaching. So Liberal Party seems to be getting most of the votes. I'm not entirely surprised by that, to be fair. How much longer with the... Oh, 4 more weeks with the Olerics. Alright then. Well, once we do have that, that's going to be quite nice. And I'm sincerely hoping that... Well, I suppose once we get the electrical generation, that's going to be allowing us to do a lot of electricity. Although, if we do have a lot of the electricity demand in our market... Is it... Well, it's relatively high. A deficit of 21,000. It's a bit. If you look at the balances, electricity and coal and iron are the biggest ones, in terms of raw numbers. But of course, in terms of market prices, oil is one of the biggest ones that we're currently facing. But there we go. Speaking of oil, how is it building another one in there? Is it actually going to go up to 20? Ulrich's there somehow, or are we going to run into a problem? We got 20 out of... I'm not going to question it. Although I do find it a little bit odd. Perhaps one could even call it a bug. But regardless, we're going to get a lot of oil made in here. Oh, and now we're not paying for the construction, so we're making money again as well. That's quite nice. But yeah, overall, it's a lot of this end of this playthrough is going to be quite passive, so I'm actually... Probably what we're going to do is, after today's episode... We'll play at least a little bit longer, but like after this episode, we might switch into the new playthrough. Partially because we're kind of stuck into expansion paths in here. I mean, we could probably find some expansion paths. The nation is doing fairly well. We won't be getting all the text by any means, but we're getting some of them. Now we've got the electricity. So since there is electricity in the market already, we could start using some of it. If we go for the electric fences, that's going to start reducing the labor use a lot. I don't know if that's going to be all that great for right now. But for the logging camp, we're going to get the electric sawmills. That's going to be bring us a massive amount of wood, which is definitely good news for us. And then in the urban stuff, we could go for the electric street lights, but the demand for electricity would be drastic. It would increase the employment a lot overall, but at the same time, since the service price would drop so much, I don't think they'd employ all of that. So that would be a bit of a waste right now. I could probably switch both the shipyards to do more of the ironclads, so that's giving us a bit more money. Anything else over here that could use electricity? Not really. Just double check the tech real quick. There's power plants, electric street light, electric fences, electric sawmills, and then at least the various techs. Okay. Right, well now we're getting the threshing machine, and after that we'll have a bit further. But I suppose at this stage, I'm going to start by building... Oh, they've already started building power plants in a lot of places. Yeah, we've got 40 different buildings underway already, and of which there's only one power plant right now. I think we're going to build at least one in southern Madagascar. I suppose what we'll just do is spread them out into a few places, just so that we can build them... Well, technically speaking, we could build several buildings in the same... Well, at the same time. Of the same kind, in the same state. It's going to cost us quite a bit to build all of these. But that's going to give us a lot of electricity. That is definitely going to start lowering the prices a little bit. Oh, there we go. Now we've got less radicals than what we've got loyalists. Although the radical numbers haven't... Well, they've dropped a little bit again. Nothing massive, though. Standard of living is now 17.4, which is pretty decent overall. GDP is 137 million, which we're still number 12. Italy's got 144. Okay, the goal for the end of the episode, or by the end of the episode, is to be back in the top 10. I mean, to be fair, now that we're building so many things in here, I have a feeling that that GDP is going to start growing again at pretty good speed. Especially if we can get all these power plants done. I mean, they are going to take half a year to be done, actually. So I don't know if we'll be able to achieve quite that. There we go, so 137 million, a good vintage. We get some more prestige, or more wine output. I'm going to take the prestige at this stage. Oh, we can... Okay, we can't be higher than tier 19 in the nations list there. We're getting pretty high. I mean, we are basically... If we could probably be quite a bit higher on the list. As a matter of fact, if we have a look at the diplomacy, so overview, open country browser, can we see the prestige? I mean, suppose if we just find ourselves on the list here, Dutch East Indies, they've got prestige of 480. We've got 1300, so actually, we've got slightly above British Raj on the points there. I do wonder, though, France, you probably would not be willing to give us independence. Oh, Persia's, but... Oh. Wait, no, we probably... Why is actually Oh, they are part of the French market. Oh, they've got defensive power. Okay, that makes sense. They've got a lot of rivalries, to be fair, so one of those could potentially help us get independence, but I don't think we're going to be doing this or that on this run. They are domineering towards me. If I demand independence, how bad would that be? 195, okay. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I don't think we'll be able to get that. I mean, technically speaking, our economy would allow us to build a lot larger army if we wanted to. Portugal's having a revolution, eh? Yes, they are. Oh, an election done. Liberal Party won. Agrarian Party is number 2. So let's reform the government. I suppose if we just put intelligence and trade unions in power, then they'll be pretty darn good to legitimacy. That's going to allow us to get the loyalist numbers up, and the radical numbers should be going down a lot. I do wonder how far we can get the loyalist numbers in just the span of this episode here. So we're still 4 million behind Italy here. So there must be one more nation in between that we haven't quite passed yet in the GDP list. But we are getting closer and closer. And with so many things being built, including a lot of tooling workshops and some arts academies, among many other things. We should be able to get these done fairly soon. It's now at 140 million, almost 141. Oh, For a moment, we were at 143. Okay, come on. We need to get... I'm sure that we're going to get above the 144 million or something like that we need. Especially once we get the electricity. That's going to be a massive boost for our GDP overall. But there is a lot of fluctuation between all the prices and all that, so that is causing some issues. But, you know, the standard of living has gotten up to 17.6. That's already pretty darn good. Like, a lot of the times, I don't get that high standard of living. I mean, maybe right at the late game, I might get up to 20 or something. But really, it doesn't go beyond that. On my end. But I play a lot of conquering nations and all that sort of stuff. You focus on building a lot of good industry into your own nation, then you'll probably be able to get pretty darn good standard of living overall. And of course, it helps if you start with a sort of a somewhat industrialized nation to begin with. Which I usually don't. We're losing a little bit of money here, but we've still got about 1.7 million in gold reserves. We've got 16 million in investment pool. But that's hardly going to be an issue. We've got fairly high construction speed as well. We could probably even increase that even further. I suppose that'll be fine. Oh, and now we're making a lot of money again. Definitely minting a lot. Oh, because a lot of these are already practically done. So once those are completed, at least some of them will be, then that is going to start putting more and more construction into the private sector, as it were. And then thus we're making a lot more money. Although another thing might be that the construction goods costs in general has just dropped a lot. We're still at 140 million. Italians are 148 million, so we actually need to get quite a bit higher in there. But now we've got a lot of electricity production. I suspect that that will have at least a bit of an impact. As soon as they can, well, let's actually make it a public to trade it as well. So I don't actually know if we'll be able to reach the top 10 again. It would be a bit of a shame, to be fair, if we can't. I mean, I suppose one of the things that I could do is first of all have a look at the goods in here. So is the electricity price, it's still plus 24%. That's a little bit high. I mean, we are now producing at least a decent bit of the electricity. Well, some electricity, let's just say. Let's not oversell our influence in here. Oh, but they're not... Oh, electricity isn't quite as profitable in here. So even though there is... okay. I suppose the wages are so high that that's causing some of the issues. I'm pretty sure that some of the other areas, like this one, can hire a lot more and thus produce a lot more electricity overall. But it's just the wages being what they are. The electricity stuff might not be that massive profit. Oh, wow. Alright then, just making 180,000 per week, casually. So it's not too bad. I mean, suppose we did incorporate... Did we incorporate Zanzibar already? Oh, and threshing machine's done. No, Zanzibar is still almost 3 years away. Right, so the threshing machine... Is that right? That would be the farming stuff here. It would require a bit of coal, but that doesn't seem like it would be too big of an issue. Alright then, well, we've got that done. How is the coal... Is there more coal available in here, actually, I suppose? Nope, we've used up all the coal mines available in southern Madagascar, so we can't increase the amount of coal that we produce. Although we do produce 12,000 in here, so that's not really that bad. Like, that would probably be more than enough for our economy's needs. But since most of it is just going to feed the French industry, it doesn't really help the situation. So now we're getting the... Oh, electric arc process. Okay, that would be more... Steel? Yes. That could be quite nice. Did we... Oh, right, yeah, we got the combustion engine after that. I don't know if we'll actually get that, though. That seems like it would take quite a while to done. Or be done. There we go, less bureaucracy need per... Oh, right, we do need quite a bit for the investment level stuff. 300 per level. Oh, modern nursing. Well, that would require opium now. We don't necessarily have a lot of that. But there we go. At least the radical numbers are pretty decent. Now, it's only 3.8 million. So it's close to 10% of the total population. And then for the loyalists, we've got about almost 1 in 6 of the total population. That's not bad at all. Standard of living has dropped a little bit in here recently, though. I suppose the GDP has also dropped. So I suppose... we didn't quite get to the top 10 again. I suppose a lot of that is just the volatility in the French market. It's just making life a little bit difficult in certain aspects. So sometimes we're making a massive amount of profit, and then at other times we're not making barely any. Well, we are making profit. I mean, looking at the amount of money that we're making, we're definitely making something. But I think that is where we're going to end this playthrough. I mean, we still have a few years, but the end game over here is just performance-wise is pretty rough on my PC. And then, of course, there's not going to be that much happening on anymore. So we'll just probably call it here. I don't know if the next episode is going to be tomorrow or the day after, but I'll try to get it continuing as per usual with the episodes. And the next playthrough is going to be in Mexico, and after that we might leave Victoria 3 for a little while at least, and return to it at a later date. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.